You see this son of a bitch? This motherfucker is called a one box. This motherfucker is $7,000 motherfucking dollars. Not only that, it was on back order in some warehouse for 2 to 3 months. Luckily, I wasn't in dire need of it, but this was the cause for some of the death codes I was having, because it was leaking air somewhere out of a crack or something from it, and that was melting the side panel. This one piece I had to replace because of that issue. Now, luckily, I'm used to this and I was prepared for it. I had 2 to 3 months to prepare for it. Now let's take a look at the receipt real quick. Alright, so really I ain't gonna bore y'all to death about this. This is basically how much I paid, but it's really just a couple bolts, clamps, sensors they had to replace. I did also replace the NOx sensors since they were pretty much part of the same piece. I did get a discount on cord charges too. Now the total came up to $8,056.97. Just enough for the average truck driver to go bankrupt. The average truck driver. Now, with all that being said, that really wasn't nothing for me. It could have been worse. It could have been about $13,000 if it wasn't for some of the discounts for the parts and shit. But I know some of you are in need of information that'll help y'all in the trucking industry. I got something for you. Check this shit out. Alright, y'all. This one I want to explain a few things to you about money and trucks. Alright, this is the City Custom Cash Rewards Credit Card. I want to show you something real quick. Not only if you spend, this is in the first 6 months, you also get $200 cash back. Now, how that works is you get points and you can redeem the points for cash back. You won't get actual cash, you'll just get like $200 credit towards your credit card. So you buy some food, you want to pay for it with the points, then you redeem the points and you can use your card to pay for the food, stuff like that. Now, with this card, you get 5% back on certain categories. Restaurants, gas station, grocery stores, and a bunch of other bullshit you're probably not going to spend it on. But the most important thing is the gas station part. More than likely, but you have to call and double check, the gas station will also include diesel. So the average truck driver spends about $1,000 to $2,000 in diesel a week. Now, how this card works is, even with the 5%, if you spend it on fuel, you would have to spend about $10,000 a month to get $500 back for that month. And the cap for the month is $500. So really, with the amount of fuel you will actually spend, you will probably get maybe more like $250, $300 a month. And then I think that's like somewhere between $3,000 and $4,000 by the end of the year. Now, you could argue that you might save more money using your ComData card or your EFS card to buy fuel, and you will save money that way just on the fuel and have more money in your pocket. I don't know exactly how much you actually save fueling with the deals that Pilot, TA, and all the other truck stops give you for those fuel cards. But that's one thing to look at. Now, even if you don't have a cash rewards credit card to spend on fuel, you should still get one though, because you still pay for maintenance and all these other things for your truck, parts and all this other shit. Now, other than the stuff that they name down here for the 5%. Everything else that's not in this category is 1%. So that's like every $10,000 you save $100. Now, I know that's not a lot, but the reason I bring this shit up because there's a lot of stuff out here you pay for regardless and you get nothing in return. At least this will get you a little bit of pocket change in return every month or so, or you can just save it all up to the end of the year and then use that to buy something for Christmas or some shit like that. But it's just because I met so many truck drivers out here that they don't have the money to make their truck payment. They don't have no money for a down payment for a truck. They don't have no money to pay their maintenance. They don't even have money to eat. And this will be like a good last resort just in case some shit happens and you need it. You should have now this, I'm not showing you this because this is the best credit card for cash rewards out there. This is just an example because there are a couple of them that are better that American Express got, and I think Chase as well. But with that being said, let me show you this. I think this is very interesting. This is Lucky Truck Company. I think they are actually a insurance company for commercial vehicles, but they announced on, I believe, December 7th that they're going to be coming out with their own credit card specifically for commercial companies or truck drivers. Now, they don't have a whole lot of details up here, and I forgot to call them today to get some more details, but they're already saying $250 cash back, and that the benefits you would get will be towards the stuff that truck drivers typically spend money on. So I think this is going to be very interesting, and if I was you, I would keep them on your radar for this card. It might be very beneficial because it's the first credit card I ever heard of that was purely for truck drivers or commercial spending. And with that being said, they're probably going to give you a hefty amount of money to even start with when activating your card, just because we spend a lot of money out here on the road. So my guess is the majority of people are probably going to have their card loaded with at least anywhere from $5,000 to $25,000, probably depending on your credit. Now, with the majority of these cash rewards credit cards, your credit score has to be at least like 620, 650 to get approved for the average credit card. The higher end, better credit cards that give better deals, you want to be around 690. So get your motherfucking credit score up and get that shit situated as soon as possible, man. You have no idea how important it is to have good credit while trying to do business. Now, I know some of you guys are still looking for trucks and you're having a hard ass time. Let me show you something. Alright, so this is an email I got from Steve Collins on at Swift. So he sent, what are these? 4 2018 trucks for $275,000 for all 4 of them. Now, with that being said, that's a good ass deal, because if you divide that by 4, that's about, I believe, $68,750 or something like that. The one with the lowest miles is $451,000, and the one with the highest miles is $573,000, and they're 2018s. Now, with that being said, unfortunately, you won't get deals this good unless you got cash money, or unless you got the bank backing you up, but you'll have to pay for all of this up front and out of pocket. But the problem with going through the bank is nowadays most banks don't want to fund semi trucks, because they said they don't, the majority of the time they feel like they can't get the money back that they want to get back. They won't be able to sell the truck for the money they want to sell it for if they have to come repo that shit from your ass. Matter of fact, most banks only prefer cars and houses as collateral. Now, with that being said, another driver recommended Reliant Funding. I forgot to pull this up. Alright, yeah, he recommended Reliant Funding. I checked them out, talked to customer service. Yeah, we not gonna fuck with Reliant Funding. Look, they do approve the majority of people from credit scores 550 and up. But what I didn't like about them was it's a quick and easy process, but not only would you have to pay weekly, and probably based on how much money you make a week, I couldn't get a straight answer out of them when it came down to the interest, how much interest you be paying. Like it was so crazy because he answered every other question I asked smoothly and shit, and then when I started asking about, how much is the interest, what am I looking at, he started, well, based on this, based on that, different states, I'm like, you gotta understand, these motherfuckers do this shit for a living every single day, but they can't give you an example of interest. That's a red flag. That's a huge red flag. Normally that means that is not an attractive deal for you, and they know it. So my guess is their interest is probably somewhere from 25 to 50% interest. So that's like borrowing fucking 10,000 and then having to pay them back 15,000 altogether. But with that being said, bam, all right, here's another option. Taylor and Martin commercial vehicle auction. This would also be a good idea for some of you who's having a hard time still finding trucks. So auction will probably be your next best option, because sometimes you can get, like right now, I think you can I think 2017s are starting at maybe even $20,000 at auctions, maybe even 25,000. And with this auction, they're almost everywhere. Fort Worth, Texas, Peoria, Illinois, South Sioux City, Nebraska, Tunica, Mississippi, Nevada, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, and probably even a couple more cities and states. But I would definitely check them out if you're looking for a truck. And then maybe, who knows, maybe you can strike a deal with them to just buy one off the lot before the auction even starts. Especially if you got cash. When you got cash, trust me, you can negotiate damn near almost anything with people. Now, also, with that being said, since Reliant Funding is not a good option, I have here off nerdwallet.com under small business lenders, here's 11 lenders that might be an even better idea for some of y'all. And this is going to tell you the name, the maximum amount of loans they give out, the maximum amount of money, the maximum, y'all gotta pardon me, it's nighttime, I'm tired as hell. The max loan amount they give out and the minimum credit score. This first one is Cabbage. The maximum loan $250,000, minimum credit score 640. And then Blue Vine, $250,000, 625 minimum credit score. And then Fundbox, $150,000, 600 minimum credit score. And then Tab Bank, $200,000, 650 credit score. And then PNC Bank, $100,000, 720 credit score. And then the SBA, which is Small Business Administration, $5 million, minimum credit score is 650, and then also $500,000 minimum credit score is 650. Now, let's pause right here real quick. Now, if you never, the Small Business Administration is basically like the government, so that's why they can give up to $1 million. If you can get money from the SBA, do that shit, because typically the SBA is better than the bank. First, go to your bank. If your bank won't lend you any money, even with your collateral, then go to the fucking SBA. And how they work is typically, normally, whatever you gross, they're willing to give you half of that shit as a maximum loan amount. Like, let's say you gross $500,000 a year, they'll give you $250,000. And since, I don't know if y'all ever dealt with like government shit or grants or shit like that, but the government is pretty fucking laid back with giving out money. Like, the applications are short as fuck, and typically the only thing they want to see is your tax return, just whatever, the last year's tax return. And as long as you don't owe the government money, and I don't know if you're on child support, if they'll loan you money, or if you're a delinquent child support, that's something you might want to look into. But as long as you clean and clear on a lot of shit, and you ain't in debt, you should be able to get that shit easy, no problem, with probably even a better deal than you would get from the bank. But now the next one is Credibility Capital, $500,000, 650 credit score, and then On Deck, $250,000 and 625 credit score. And then Fora Financial, $750,000 and 550 credit score. Now, with these motherfuckers, to be honest, I wouldn't even use them. I mean, they would be a last resort, but not only have I seen a whole bunch of bad reviews about them, like, they just seem very untrustworthy. They seem like the type of people who would probably get your information, deny you the loan, and then sell your information. And then another thing is, you want to be wary of these companies that will accept people who got 500 anything credit score. Normally the minimum to get anything using your credit would be like 620. Typically these people tend to be like loan sharks, tend to have the worst deals to give you. They might want you to pay them every week, every day, or just some crazy shit. Or they're typically the ones that want 50% interest on their money back. So if you can, try to stay away from these motherfuckers that will accept anybody in the 500s. And the last one is Triton Capital, $250,000, 600 minimum credit score. Now look, I'm showing y'all all this shit and telling you all this shit because I really want y'all motherfuckers to make money. I don't want to see none of y'all motherfuckers out here struggling like some of the guys I've met in the past years, that the truck drivers, they worked every fucking day and didn't have nothing. Didn't have a car, a house, didn't have shit to their motherfucking name. Motherfuckers who worked every day and still couldn't buy themselves a meal. Man, I can't tell y'all how many motherfuckers I took out to eat just because they didn't have no money, but they worked harder than I fucking did, and they struggled. Everything went to the truck, everything went to maintenance, everything went to bills. In any one little breakdown would cause them to go bankrupt and shit like that. I done paid motherfuckers phone bills that been fucking truck drivers, took them out to eat, bought them clothes, all kind of shit. Help pay they goddamn truck payments, down payments. Because I don't want to see motherfuckers struggle out here. Because really, if you a truck driver, you should be making money. You shouldn't be in no situation where you can't even pay your fucking phone bill. But the thing is, if you don't have the knowledge, if you don't know what the fuck you doing, you don't know what you should be doing, if you fucking with the wrong people, if you pick the wrong truck, you'll lose money. You'll lose money. You'll lose a lot of time. You'll just be losing left and right. And a trucking company can ruin your fucking life. Can ruin your credit. Can ruin your life. Can ruin your record. All kind of shit. Can ruin you from all kind of benefits. I know. Trust me. I've been there. I know how that shit feels. That's why I don't mind helping motherfuckers, because I don't want motherfuckers to fall in the same footsteps I did when I was trying to come up and I had companies holding me back and shit. But there y'all go. I'm out this bitch. Protect your balls, protect your wallet.